Hey, welcome back to our excursion through Proverbs. We're in Proverbs chapter 10 today, looking at some really distinct wisdom literature. The word in Proverbs chapter 10 that helps me interpret and build a synopsis of this chapter that I can take into my day is the word contrast. It's in 31 of the 32 verses in Proverbs chapter 10, there is a distinct contrast. There's a beginning phrase, and there's a phrase that's attached to it that is its opposite. It's its opposing contrast. Verse 22 is the only verse that really doesn't have an opposing contrast, and it is, the blessing of the Lord brings wealth, and he adds no trouble to it. Now, there's a lot to learn in Proverbs chapter 10, and a lot of things that you could take into your day, individual contrasts about the way we speak, about the way we work, about the way we work and live and talk and speak with other people, about the way we love and the way we hate. Now, it's important to recognize contrast. It's important to recognize that there is good and there is evil. There is right, there is wrong, there is light, and there is dark. I don't have to say any more about that, other than in the end of the end times, in the end culture, what we will find is people who are speaking about the light as though it is dark. And they're speaking about the dark as though it is light. Meaning there will be a homogenization of light and dark. There'll be an attempt to actually blend the two by the enemy. Why? Because he doesn't want you to see how awful and how evil he is. That he's not for you, he's against you. There's only one who's for you, and that's the Lord. And he is good, and he's good all the time. And this is why contrast is so important in our life. There are people who want to pull out, they want to minimize the differences between light and dark because they want to minimize the differences between right and wrong. Our culture has become pretty good at this. Our courts have become pretty good at this. But I want to actually encourage you today that as you go into your day, to think about the words that come out of your mouth, to think about the way that you work. Are you in contrast? Are you working hard or are you being lazy? Are you investing or are you skating by? The way you're speaking to people, are you building them up or tearing them down? The way that you are investing in people and relationships. When you love them, you are willing to cover a multitude of failures. That doesn't mean that you're willing to forget them or hide them. It just means that you're willing to cover them and not exploit them. When you are walking in anger, frustration, and hatred, you're more willing to stir up and gossip about someone else's failures because you're hoping to gain some traction from their failure in your own life. So the devil's been at this for a long time. He has been at this homogenization of light and dark for a long time. And I want to encourage you today that there is a distinction, and here's why. Because the light always overcomes the dark. The light always overcomes the dark. When you are in a dark room and you turn a light on, guess what prevails? The light. It doesn't matter how small the light is. It could be a small candle, it could be a small flashlight in a gigantic dark room. The light is never overcome by the dark. It's always the light that overcomes the dark. So I want to encourage you today to be the light as you go into your day. Be the light as you go into your family, as you go into every opportunity and every place that you are today. Choose to walk as the light. Choose to not bring the light down, but be the light of the world. Jesus calls you the light of the world. Go walk as the light of the world today. Let your work so shine before men that they'll glorify your Father in heaven. God bless you. Have a great day.